Okay. We are here with you. We are here with you. All right. My goodness gracious.
Some
It
technical
is
difficulties.
right. I mean, it was not all technical difficulties. Kyle was sleeping.
They didn't need to know that, Kyle.
Listen. I like to keep it real. We did have some difficulties. I don't know. We were not able to connect. It does look like we are here with you now. It is October 22nd. Nay, 21st. And we are here to talk about the final 2 episodes of The Mole. We're calling it Midnight Mole. It's a Midnight Mole party. Let's get into it. This is Strat Chat. Yeah. I am Kyle Petty, and I am joined by my fabulous besties.
Not besties again.
Always besties. John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. This is Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. Okay, we're chatting about The Mole on this fabulous Friday night, Saturday morning, whatever you want to call it. We're here for you, talking about The Mole. Listen. These final 2. Okay, so we lost Jacob right out of the gate, right? We lost him. Yeah.
My number 2 pick gone.
Which did surprise me a little bit. Although it didn't surprise me, I don't know. Like keeping Joy didn't shock me, but losing, I don't know. The fact that to the 2 of them, it was going to be shocking no matter how this went.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jacob's out. Our final 4 was Joy, Miss Cassie, Avery, and
Mr. Will.
Terrible. And Will,
you were sleeping. It's okay.
I was sleeping. I said blow my phone up at 12, and no one did. Matt would like to know which one of us is a shithole mole.
What's up, Matt?
Hi, Matt. Can we talk about that also? Because I mean, that was so contrived. I mean, that whole shithole mole. It's like, can you just relax?
No, but it's so good though.
No, it's good. It's really, really fun to say.
It's good. I also think did Joy like publicly call out like 4 different people and accuse them of being the mole, like in 4 straight eliminations? I'd be like, by the 3rd one, I'd be like, the first one, I'm like, okay, wow, this is wild. The second one, I'm like, oh, okay, you did this already. By the 3rd one, I'd be like, all right, this is all bullshit. Like, shut up now, Joy. I love Joy, though. I actually love Joy. But
I love Joy, too.
It was just funny because every elimination, it was like, oh, here comes Joy.
At that point, like, I wonder, like, what is the intention? Like, I feel like if I were there, I'd be sitting there like, well, like, so is it you, though? Like, you've literally cast suspicion on every single person in the game. Like, are you moling me? Like, what's happening?
I guess that's the point, though, right?
I'm now really using that as a verb. Like, it started as a joke, and now it's valid.
No, you asked if Avery was moling us, and it stuck.
I also I really love referring to people as Moley. I really love that.
Every time they say mole-like behavior, I'm like,
it's very, very good.
Yeah, that's it's pretty mole-ish. It's pretty mole-ish of you.
I think everybody was pretty mole-ish by the end of this. Losing Jacob, now that really does mean, though, that either he was just miscounting during the bank thing. You know, that is really what put the biggest target on his back was the bank heist. Unless he just really was a bad counter, or was.
And that's what, like, I was talking to my boss. I was talking to my boss about this today, and she was like, "What I don't understand about the show is that like everybody's being shady, but that just means that one person is shady and everyone else is an idiot. Like, I don't understand why everybody is so bad at these missions. Like, what is going on?
Right, but the strategy behind that is if I can get you to think that I am like the mole.
But only one person told us that was their strategy. You know?
Right, but only one person were we shown that was their strategy.
Sure.
You know,
Fair.
like, we're seeing a very manufactured story.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't trust them suckers.
I saw Joy tweeting today about how
What she had to say.
Well, she was saying that there were even whole like missions that we don't get to see. You know, like
somebody had called her out. Like, I don't understand how
this
Joy
is exactly
had
what I'm referring to.
Yeah, how Joy had such bad reads and like was so certain that Will was the mole when Will was like the most successful person at banking money the entire season. And she responded to their tweet like there were missions that were cut. So I have to assume that like there were multiple missions that happened that I guess didn't affect the money one way or the other, that they just never aired. Because then even I saw somebody tweeting that like where they show them taking the quiz, someone had a question about the mirror mission. And they were like, what the hell is the mirror mission? Like, that wasn't even a thing. Right. So apparently there were full missions. They just never aired.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think, though, about Will having potentially been the mole? Because I will say that there was a point now in these final two that I said, you know what? Maybe we've overlooked him.
I don't know. In my opinion, everything that they said he was doing that was moley felt like a reach. I don't know. Like, I was like, I feel like you're really grasping at straws here to be like, no, it has to be Will, and I have to find a reason why. Because he, like, the whole purpose of being the mole is to prevent people from banking money, but Will was the most successful at earning money. And yeah, sometimes like the mole should earn money to make it like, no, look, see, I'm not doing anything wrong. But he was so consistent about it that it just didn't feel right to me.
I don't disagree, but what one blaring thing that kind of does come to mind is, and I could be wrong, I could be remembering it incorrectly, but do you remember there was a challenge where that whole thing where he was insisting that he go to the end, where he was
the backpack one.
Yes, the one with the bags, and insisting that he go to the very, very end. Didn't he have nothing in his bag?
That's correct. Yeah, he had no money.
Yes, right.
And that was, to me, the most mole-ish thing that he did, I think.
Very moly.
Oh my God.
And then, like, I don't know, starting to compare all the notes. It's like, wait a minute, where's the other shithole bowl? Because maybe you're talking all this junk about, like, making sure that we're always adding to the pot. And he was so adamant and so pissy about the fact that he didn't get to go to the end. It's like, you know what? The mole would do that too. Knowing that he's got nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And knowing that, like, unfortunately, we judge all of these physical competitions based on the way people look physically, So we look at Will, we just automatically assume, well, the mole wouldn't give you any money, because you should. And I just like,
wait, can you say that one more time? Because I didn't quite catch everything.
Oh my God.
So terrible. Is that like I was being so genuine, I was being so fucking real, and I caught a glimpse of myself doing that, and I said, I don't know why this is me. So
no, it's good. It's good.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, don't do that to me. We have a comment here from Matt, hanging out late night chat. Will was never on my radar. No, he wasn't on mine either. Like, come on. I'm just saying the final two episodes. It was always Greg for me. Well, ended poorly until I was blindsided, he says. Then it was Joy. I didn't clock Kasi until 8 or 9.
See, I don't know. Like, I can understand why people would think Greg, but to me, Greg was too obvious. Like, right from the first episode, he seemed like the villainous, shady dude, and I was like, there's no way it's this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't give us that early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had moments where I thought it could be Greg, but I don't know. My gut feeling was just taking me to other contestants over him. Like, there were a couple of things from him that I thought were suspicious, but I don't know. I wasn't that surprised to see him go. Yeah.
No.
No, I mean, everyone at one point or another had me side-eyeing them, but I felt like that was too obvious an answer.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So what did you think of the Snowy Mountain Challenge? This saw our molars.
Or as John referred to them, our mole people.
There's our mole people.
Yeah, they're the mole people.
Kimmy Schmidt. We saw our mole people having to trudge up a snowy mountain, up what Australia calls the Snowy Mountains. I also did not know that Australia had mountains. I also did know.
I didn't know Australia had snow.
Right, I did. I also didn't know that Australia had snow. Right, I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, wow, I'm the stupidest person alive. Cool, very good, very good.
If you are, then I'm right there with you. That we are the two stupidest people, and I would like to believe that there are others in America who did not know that Australia had the snow. Right. That worked out really nice. Yeah, it's too late for us. So you had to go up, the mountain. You had to get to 3 different beacons following a tracker that would beep, kind of hot, cold, hot, cold.
Mm-hmm.
Beep, beep.
Beep, beep, they say. Beep, beep, they say. And then had to pick up some cold, hard cash on a cold, hard mountain.
I have to pull this up. I have to. I think they pronounce it snar.
Snore.
It's ridiculous. That's becoming a thing.
Thank you.
She's forcing it, then damn it, she'll have it. So I had to go up, find the 3 beacons, and find the cash that was there. $10,000 up for grabs on both sides of the mountain. Our final 4 was split up into 2 teams of 2, and the cash was frozen in large ice blocks, making this a cumbersome task.
So from when I started watching the season, I was so like, wow, I want to be on the mole. This looks like so much fun. I want to be on this show. And then this task started, and I said, I'm good.
I'm good.
No, thank you.
No, I still want to be on this show.
Oh, I still want to be on it, but I would not. I would be complaining the whole time.
Yes, I would complain the whole time. And but what's so beautiful about this game is that I don't have to do well.
Right.
My failure, if I'm not the mole, my failure only works in my
favor. Helps you, right? The worse you do, the better you are. Yeah.
This is my game. I need
support that. I back that. I'm here for that.
Come on, let's go mole. Yeah. Let's go mole. I want to be a mole person.
I'll be a mole person.
And honestly, you can make me the mole, and I'd be fucking perfect because I would
have
really
a great
do
time.
my best, and I would fail every single time.
I would have a great time.
Yeah, we'd have a good time. Find me other mole people. Cast me. I promise I won't do a good job. Well, Matt wants to know, would you rather be a player or be a mole? I don't care. I'd love to play either way. I think I prefer being the mole.
I would love to say that I would rather be the mole, but I know, like, as much as I would love to say that I would be so, like, sneaky or whatever, I know that I'd be in the corner like, I'm the mole. Like, I'd be having too much fun, like, draw too much attention to myself. Like, it'd be bad.
Oh my God. Yeah, one more time, please.
I would have too much fun with it. I can't be the mole. I'm not slick enough.
Mole.
Like, oh my God.
What's funny about that is that you could probably say I'm the mole, and someone would be like, Gina's trying to she's trying to like screw with me. She's saying she's the mole.
Exactly.
Like it's too obvious. It's too obvious. It can't be her. Like that's what it would end up happening.
Saying it out loud, like the mole wouldn't really do that.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would prefer. Like, I wouldn't mind being either. I do think actually that I'd rather be a regular player though. I think because I feel like I would enjoy the, obviously it would suck to go home if you were totally wrong and your reads were off. But like, I think I would really enjoy trying to complete the missions, knowing someone's secretly working against us and trying to figure out who that person is. Like that's really fun to me. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's a ton of fun to be the mole, also, but I don't know. I think I'd rather be a regular
the
player.
game of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I can enjoy both experiences, honestly. I think I would lean towards wanting to be the mole, only because it would mean that it would guarantee that I get to make it to the end.
Right.
No matter what, I get to see this all the way through. The only thing is, like, what does the mole get? Like,
that's what was confusing for me.
Yeah, who cares? All right, so you were the mole. So now what?
I have to assume they got wondering. Like the mole gets more money or something. I don't know.
That's my guess. Like, yeah, they must get paid more, and we just don't see it. But part of me was wondering, like, okay, I was kind of hoping that we would see this. That, like, okay, whoever the mole is, however much money they directly kept from going into the prize pot, like,
is there winnings?
Right, because we can point to specific moments where the mole, caused money to be lost. And I thought, like, any money that they prevent from going into the overall prize pot for the winner, like, could go to the mole.
I do like that. I like that a lot.
I love that. Sounds great. Would you like to be EP?
What great motivation to screw up missions.
Right. Exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. I'm going to be very proactive now in this moment.
And what I am confused about also is, like, we have heard people, I've never seen any other seasons of the mole, but I know particularly in the challenge this season, there's someone who was the mole and won her season of the mole. How does the mole win the season if nobody guesses they're the mole? Because we didn't hear them talk about that in the finale.
Right. Yeah. We're new to the mole world.
I have to assume, like, if nobody guesses correctly, the mole wins, but I don't. They didn't specify.
Right. I feel like the only thing that I remember, like, Alex specifically saying, was that, like, if both players guess the mole correctly, then the winner will be whoever answered the most questions right. But I didn't hear her say anything about, like, oh, if nobody guesses the mole right, this is what happens.
The mole wins.
Like,
yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say that I'm intrigued enough by this show that I will be watching some old seasons, and hopefully,
absolutely,
we'll find some answer to that. That's interesting. And did you read anything about how, like, some of the rules in this might be slightly different from the original Mole, just because it's like Netflix's reboot? I thought I got like a whiff of that.
This is something I actually brought this up to Gina earlier too. Like, I'm very interested because I watched the original Mole, but like I don't remember. Like, I was like 12 when that came out. It's like 20 years ago, So, like,
baby, Johnny.
Right. So I really don't remember much of it, and I don't remember how different the two games are either. Like, I don't know at all. Like, I don't know if they did the same type of quiz sort of thing for every elimination. Like, I don't know. Any of that stuff. I really don't remember. I would love to go back and rewatch all these past seasons.
I'd love to go back and rewatch.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I'd also love to go back and rewatch if we end up getting anybody from the Mole on. I wonder if they'd watch with us. You want to hang out?
Oh, hell yeah.
And, like, let's see what else is going on. Because so many of them be like, oh, we want to take you Big Brother fans and make you the Mole fan.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you don't have to be so dastardly about it. Like
we'll just along for the ride. It doesn't take a lot of convincing. We're down.
Easy. You don't have to be so dastardly about it. like let's watch. Let's watch together. I'd love to rewatch an old season. If not all of them. I will.
Right.
I will.
Right.
Whether somebody joins me or not, I'm watching. So I would love to know if somebody would join us. We could have a chat.
Also, I totally derailed us. We were talking about the mission. I'm sorry.
Who?
We were talking about the snow mission, and I completely derailed us, and we stopped talking about the show at all. I'm so sorry.
We didn't talk about the Mole the entire time. It was worth waking up for. I'll tell you that.
Sure.
Happy to be here. We're happy to be here. So the way that our final four was split, we had Joy and Kasi on one side and Will and Avery on the other side. And they had, get up the side of the mountain. Basically a modern aggro crag, for our OG Nickelodeon kids.
I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
Because Gina's too young.
Am I though? I'm not that much younger than you.
Younger enough that you don't know Nickelodeon Guts? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, I know. I don't think I watched it, but I know what it is.
Do you have it? Guts!
No, I know what it is, but I don't think I ever watched it.
Oh, man.
It didn't entice me.
Woo! 21 minutes and 8 seconds. 21 minutes and 8 seconds is when Kyle went.
Oh, I have a running list going already. Don't you worry.
Okay, good.
Let me tell you, Guts was everything. That was our very first appearance from Mike O'Malley. You know Mike O'Malley from Glee. He played Kurt's father.
Oh, yes.
All right, but he was also the host of Guts, which is a children's sports show. Remember that? He's like, let's go back to the leaderboard. Mo! He was the best. And then Guts went global, all right, with Global Guts. And it was basically like the Olympics. Yeah, it was like Nickelodeon's Olympics.
It's the Olympics of Guts.
Yes, and the best part about all of this, you can find Guts on Paramount Plus. Okay.
Kyle is gunning for a sponsorship, man.
I wasn't, but you brought me there. Listen, I just said aggro crag, and you said aggro ho, and I just wanted to educate you.
Like what Matt said. Matt says midnight strat chat is so cracked. I love this.
This is what happens when we wake Kyle up and say go live.
You need to understand. All right. As a very brief aside, if there's ever such thing with me, I mean, like happy hour started at 4. I closed that laptop at 4. Okay, we were ready and we hit the ground running. I had a whole entire night with my roommate. I fell asleep watching a movie at like 8 o'clock, drunk. And I woke up, watched another movie, watched something else, and then like I went to my room and I took a nap and I watched something else, and I was still drunk and high, and then like here I am now. It's 12:48. I have had multiple nights, but I got up to talk about the mole.
Like, I feel like you're like, what day is it? Is it Sunday?
Oh gosh,
it's Wednesday.
No. You want to talk about? You think things are cracked now? You wait until 3 p.m. tomorrow. I'm not gonna know who I am. All right, I've had several nights in one night. Okay?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So anyway, so we see Joy and Kasi going up down the mountain together. And then we have Will and Avery on the other side. Mm-hmm. Avery, right out of the gate, busts her ass.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Which like same girl.
Yeah, I love Avery. I love Avery so much, and just watching her be like, all right, guys, let's go.
Thud. And this actually also gave me my favorite Alex moment, because like she had her head cocked to the side and she was like, girl. like the whole thing.
She just gets up and she's like, I'm ready to go, I'm sorry. She's going like trudging up the mountain.
I'm like, this is very mole-like.
Multiple nights.
Multiple nights, says Matt.
Facts.
I love it.
Oh
I love it.
And if you think this is the last night I'm having before I go back to bed, it's not. It's not. All right, because that night definitely messed up my sleep. All right, your boy is gonna be up all night. We'll be finding out about season 1 of the Mole tonight.
Kyle's gonna watch the whole season tonight.
Oh my god, the whole series.
So stupid.
Oh my god.
Okay, so back on track here. What do we think about this challenge? This looked like hell.
Yeah, absolutely not. Not a chance.
Awful.
Definitely the most grueling challenge mission of the season.
And then of course, like as they're collecting more money, the load is just getting heavier and heavier because they're in these huge freaking ice blocks. Like, no.
Or
No.
I did really like in this mission that you had just 2 teams of 2, which meant that somebody was working with the mole. You know, that I really like too.
That
'Cause
was
even in
awesome.
the
That was very
yeah,
fun.
like even when Jacob was still there and they did like the pizza and pigeons mission or whatever, like, yeah, sure, there's only 5 people and you have 2 groups of 2, so somebody could be working with the mole, but you also have this person that's, you know, still
Off on the
stuck over here.
side. Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
they could be the mole. So you still have like
Yeah.
there's
Mixed
still you're
bag.
not sure.
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
And like what was wild about this too, once we get into like how the votes went or whatever, for that reason, I don't understand how someone voted the way they voted. Because like someone was paired up with the mole and didn't clock it. And I don't understand how that's possible.
Yeah.
Really what Matt wrote, and I just started laughing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He said these were the worst possible teams to divide into. Joy and Kazi were both utter chaos, and it made it hard to decide who the mole was. Yeah. This kind of plays into what Gina was saying, you know. Yeah, the whole thing of this. Now, okay. I don't even know where to start. Because all right. Kazi.
Oh God.
No, it was just everything she said. I'm telling you, my jaw hit the floor. And I was like, oh my gosh, like my mouth was open for so long. I had like drool running down.
Oh
And I
no.
went, oh my goodness, my mouth is open. My mouth is still open. I could not believe how she was just pushing this money right off. That's so cold.
She feels like, Joy, I got it.
Right. That was the best part to me. That was the best part to me though about it was that she was like, especially when they had like the very, very big block, like the last one that was worth the most, it was worth the most money. And she's like, don't worry, I'll push. And just like flop, just like throws the ice block over. And Joy's like,
but then also like
really?
You hear Joy say, oh no, I got it. It's not even that heavy. It's like, do you not realize that like tens of pounds are being thrown off of this sled every couple of seconds?
That was going to be my next point. Yes, this is why it troubles me so, because like I want to live in a space where it's possible that like, you know, maybe you're so wrapped up in the fact that like your legs hurt and you're very cold, so maybe you're not noticing, but I still can't understand how, if you are in that kind of pain, how you don't realize that your burden has been lessened. Like,
yeah.
I really
nothing.
I could not listen. If you pushed off just 1 or even 2,
yes,
I could kind of see that. Once it got to be nothing and you were just flopping around, it had to even sound different. Right? like
right.
sliding
How do
on
you
the
not
ice.
notice that all of a sudden this sled weighs nothing and you're like running up the mountain like, I got it. Like you're not getting stronger.
All of a sudden I'm a rock star. You're getting stronger as you get further in? No way.
Right.
It should be harder. That was very strange to me. And that was very mole-like in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think Kasi even said that. Yeah. I feel like Kasi even said, like, how does she not notice this? Because Kyle, I totally agree with what you said. If one block comes off, okay, you can understand.
There's no way I would notice that. I'd be huffing and puffing so hard. I definitely would not know.
And then, like, there was a point, because I feel like we did see here and there from both teams that like somebody would carry a block so that the person pulling it didn't have all of the weight. So like, and I think there was a point where I saw Kasi knock like one ice block off, and then she picked one up and it looked like she was going to carry it, and then she ended up just dropping that one too. But like, okay, now you're only down to 1 block. That's gone. There's no way that you don't notice that this just got way lighter.
Right.
No way. There's no way. Yeah.
Right. So that kind of felt very moley to me, you know.
Pretty moley. I agree. Pretty moley.
Yeah. So I might even say it's Holy moly.
The amount of times in these last 2 episodes that someone said "holy moly," I was like, "Oh, they are leaning so far into this. I cannot handle it."
It's just, I mean, it's right there. It's actually more ridiculous to see it like just on the ground and walk past it. Like it's there.
Yeah.
Like you have to pick it up. It's like a $20 bill like on the ground. Like you're walking out of like Stop and Shop and it's like a 20 on the ground. Like I'm just gonna keep going. No. Holy moly is that 20. You gotta grab it.
Yeah.
Statues. So Will and Avery at the end of all of this and at the end with their full 10,000. Joy and Kazi, after their big debacles, they end with $6,000, mainly because, after Kazi pushed off all the rest of this money, at the final beacon, you had one big ice cube with $6,000 in it, and Joy, come hella high water, was going to make sure that made it to the end.
And she saw her push that one off too.
Yeah. And she's like, "What? Are you kidding?" And it's like, "Come on, like Kazi, now you really tried it. Now, I mean, that was the only bit of weight. Like,
right.
At least the rest of it was separated, and you kind of got away with it.
Right.
Like, I don't know why.
Like,
this was too bold.
It was so funny too, because like you saw Kazi be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but you also saw her like go out of her way to push it off the sled, and she was like,
"Yeah, like." This was not the one, Kazi, to push off. Alex literally said, she said, this last block, it's the biggest one, and it weighs more than all of the other blocks combined.
Right.
Like all right, the other little flip-offs, they were sneaky. They were, Joy probably should have noticed, but like this was too much. Too much. And then you ended up bringing the money anyway. You ended up bringing all that money up to the top anyway. So like, that was silly.
Yeah, but it was. So they got to the top of the 6,000. So I mean, honestly, not bad. Out of $20,000, they banked 16. Okay,
that really is pretty good. Yeah.
Did you see? I couldn't believe there was one point where like Will was grabbing the ice with his bare hands, like he had no gloves on, and like I have never seen redder hands in my life. I was like, this man is gonna get his hands cut off. Like, what are you? Why are you doing this?
Frostbitten. He just got frostbitten.
It was bad. I was like, Will, my guy, what prompted this? Why did this need to be done this way?
Yeah, but hey, he got the job done. So
I mean, he did it, but at what cost? My fingies would be frozen off.
Frozen fingies.
Frozen fingies.
Double F. Frozen fingies. Midnight Strat Chat is correct.
Oh my god.
We apologize. Yeah, mark it down 33.
Frozen fingies.
I didn't even read what this is. I'm trusting Matt that he didn't write anything crazy. I genuinely like Joy, but she was the most Mo-like innocent person ever. How do you come in, say you're a pilot, and turn to mush every time you're in charge?
Yeah.
Every time you're in charge of a map or directions. Honestly, it's true.
Every single even in this challenge, there was a moment where like they were looking for the first beacon.
Oh, with the tracker, yeah.
And Kasi even looked at her and she was like, the beacon is here. Why were we all the way over there? And Joy was like, oops.
Yeah, I think Joy just gave like a very sheepish, like, oh yeah.
She's like, my bad. Even like Kasi was looking at her like, how did this happen? Especially because like intercut with that, you see how easy it was for Avery and Will to find theirs. Like he was like, it gets faster as you get closer. Easy peasy.
What did you I do need to ask, what did you think? Because when Will and Avery were working together, I thought it was really funny when she was like, you don't want to let me use the tracker? And he was just like, no, and just like kept walking.
No. And it's like, my shoe came off. I didn't even notice. And it's like, what?
He's like, yeah, of course, sure.
You didn't notice your shoe came off in the snow.
But again, it's like, this is another moment where it's like, okay, sure. Because like Avery then was talking about Will. And like, this is another one to me that I was like, you're reaching. Like, I get that if you're really grasping at straws, it's like, oh, he's done something he's not supposed to do. But like, if I was doing this mission, I would want to lay down in the snow for like 2 minutes just to chill for a second too. Like she was like, Will's laying down, he's the mole. And I was like,
Right. He's exhausted because you're doing nothing. All
right.
Yeah.
He's carrying the thing and leading to where it, like he's doing all of the work here.
Doing quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally agree.
So the results of this quiz, after this challenge, after the banking of $16,000, doll hairs, doll hairs, led to the elimination of the Lady Avery.
Yeah, I was very upset about this.
I really wish that, like, at the end of this season, we did get more of a breakdown of how people were voting to get them eliminated. Like, I'm just so curious as to, like, where these quiz questions and these votes ended up landing.
Right. I want to know more because, like,
especially because, again, at the beginning of this episode, we saw Jacob leave, but Avery had been talking so much about how she was so sure that Jacob was the mole. So how were her questions being laid out? Like, how was she getting so far if she thought it was Jacob for so long? I wish that we got more of a breakdown on this.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I definitely agree. It's funny. Another thought that I had, and Gina and I were talking about this, it was weird to me that the finale, that episode 10, was the shortest episode of the season. Like, I felt like you could have easily put in an extra 10 to 15 minutes and showed all those little, clues about who the mole was and like where they were presented throughout the season, like the flag being on the plane, and it was the Columbia flag, and the mole went to Columbia University. Like show all those little clues to us. But then also, I think it would have been cool to have sort of like a panel type thing, and maybe you run down and like, you go to everybody, and say like, all right, you were eliminated this week. Like, how did you vote this week? Like, why were you out? Like,
because
you
even
take a couple
still,
of
like,
minutes on each person. Like, that's it.
Like, we haven't gotten there yet, but like the final three was the mole, the winner, and the runner-up. And the runner-up for so much of the season was so certain that the person who was the mole, like the person who wasn't the mole was the mole. And it's like, how did you get to final three if from day one you were voting for somebody that wasn't the mole? I'm so interested in how this breakdown happened.
I think a lot of it has to do. I mean, there's a lot of luck, I think, involved too. But
sure.
Because they're split up into groups, like a lot of the questions will say like, "Oh, was the mole in this?" Remember that like whole
yeah.
Like they were split up into those groups, and whoever hit the button first, they were all safe from elimination that night. Right. So like in later weeks now, a question might be like, and we lost Kyle apparently.
Oh no!
But a question might be like, "Oh, which group?"
Okay.
A question might be like, oh, which group was the mole in? Was it in the group that was safe from elimination, or the group that had to go to elimination? And if the mole happened to be in the same group as the person that you were voting for,
right?
Well, then you got that question right.
No, yeah, that's fair. I don't know. It's just something that I wish we got more of in the finale. I wish we did have like, because even I expected as I was watching, I didn't look to see like what the timestamp was or whatever. Like before I started, it was like halfway through the episode that I looked and realized I was halfway. I thought the last episode would be like a 2-hour, like just like a longer, not the shortest one of the season. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's what I was expecting. I came home from work. So I watched episode 9 on my lunch break at work.
Uh-huh.
Because I just couldn't wait. I was like, I have to watch it. I can't wait. But then I got home and I was thinking, all right, I should definitely start watching this soon because it's the finale. I had a feeling that the eliminated people would be coming back and all that. And I was like, so this might be a longer episode. Maybe it'll be an hour and a half or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came in and I saw that it was like 35 minutes, I was like, this is really short.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get a reunion though?
I feel like that was it.
I think this was the reunion.
Especially because they didn't
more from it though. Like maybe,
but they didn't. It doesn't say like normally when that's the case, it'll say like next episode dropping whenever, like reunion coming whenever. But it just like this was the finale,
Right.
And even like there were even like the cast was talking about it on Twitter. I don't remember who it was, but someone was posting pictures like, oh, like behind the scenes of the mole reunion. Like, look how good everybody looked for our reunion, and it was like them in their finale outfits and stuff.
Right. I saw that.
Maybe we can have a reunion here. Let's get some people back.
Hell yeah.
Come down to the Strat Chat.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you. Restream lets us have 10 people.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Can we
that
pick
would
our
be
favorite
fantastic.
7? No. Whoever the first 7 that wants to be here
Yeah.
can come on down. We'd love to have you. They don't give a shit about us. Maybe they do. Come down. We'd love to have you back. We'd love to have that.
We would love to have a chat. We really would.
No, we would. Don't mock me.
I'm not
No
mocking.
mocking? No
There's
mocking.
no mocking.
No,
I love this
no.
cast.
I just think it's really fun to say.
Yeah, this cast really was awesome. I really got to say, there was not a person in this cast that I really did not like. I also thought it was a very attractive cast overall. I thought it was
everyone was very hot.
Right? Everyone was very.
Yeah, I loved
interesting
our thirst trap week that we got.
Oh my god!
Really fun.
Yes.
Yeah, really fun.
Yeah. And I want to see these people on other shows too. Like, not just because I saw Will, I think, tweet something. Right? Oh, we mentioned this already. Like, Will was the one that was being like, "Oh, let's get all these BB fans over to the mole," and I'm like, I would love to see Will on Big Brother, but also
let's get you into Big Brother. How dare you?
Well, you know what though? Not even that. Like, I would love to see him on Big Brother, but I also feel like I would love to see Will on the challenge.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd like to see Will on the challenge. Yeah. Wait, before we start getting the hypotheticals, should we do let's finish the mole.
Right, we still haven't.
Oh yeah. Let's finish the episode.
Let's finish the mole.
Midnight does not look good on us. Oof.
Yeah, let's finish the mole.
Well, listen, we're talking about interesting things that are interesting to us, and we can do whatever we want because we're adults. So, but let's finish the episode.
I don't disagree. I didn't say let's not have the conversation. I just think it should be.
No, I'm just being an idiot.
Listen, I went off camera to get another drink. That's really why
I just heard everything's fine. Continue. It's like, okay,
fine.
sorry.
Keep talking. Crown Royal, whiskey and cola. Yeah, really delicious. But I actually am using a Absolute Vodka Lime up. Yeah, there's a lot going on tonight. This is what we wake up for. So anyway, we lost Avery, right?
Bummer.
Not the mole. So we go into this final 3 situation with Will, Joy, and Kasi. And at this point, I was thinking Will was the mole.
Really?
Yeah, I was. I was pretty convinced. I was with Joy. I'm like, yeah. I see what you're saying.
No, and we talked about it on the last stream, from Money Heist to now, I was like, it's Kasi. It's got to be Kasi. I was so one track mind on that.
Absolutely. You called it. You did call it.
You did. You really did. Congratulations.
So so proud of you.
Yeah.
You gotta win. You gotta win.
Finally got one.
You got one. I'm the only sucker now. The only sucker.
You're not a sucker.
Oh, I'm a sucker. That's okay. That's all right. I still have some good insights. I'm not a total idiot. I just don't have a winner yet. I don't have a winner. We'll get there one day. I am what the hell is his name? Why am I forgetting? I can picture his fucking face. Nelson. I am the Nelson of Strat Chat.
Oh no.
That's okay. That's all right.
Hey, this season of the challenge could be your time to shine.
Probably not.
Oh,
come on. He's not going to win again. He's not.
Hey, I don't know.
Whatever. That's not.
Hey, we're going off topic again.
Yep, that's not why we're here tonight. So they had to play this final challenge. I don't know, bouncing from like site to site, not get seen by the drones. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling this challenge at all.
It felt like a combination of like hide and seek and red light, green light, and like I thought it looked fun. I was like, I'll play that.
It looked
I
fun
would have loved to do this.
I would have
loved to play it, but I didn't think it was super fun to watch. I just didn't really care. So you had like, I don't know, 3 little stations where you can get this little canister that had like $5,000 in it. Grand total of winnings possible, potential earnings $15,000. So the very first one, you had to use little sticks, these poles, to get this canister out of these little 2 cords that have these little hooks on them. You had to choose 2 people to do this challenge together. selected were Jacob and Joy. It's
Will
not
and Joy,
Jacob.
baby.
It was not Jacob.
Jacob's been long gone.
Enjoy.
Jacob and Joy. Will and Joy. Will and Joy. Just kidding. So Will had said in this moment, he really wanted to make sure they got, the most money possible, but he wanted to make sure they at least lost something. And Joy made it pretty easy because she was shaking her stick.
She was so aggressively like, I was like, girl, big breath. Like, why are we so aggressive with it? Like, you're going to lose all the money.
I also don't know how this was winnable. This one to me looked like
it was a rough one. It was.
It was set up to fail.
This looked really hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that they even got
one,
right? Like the fact that they even got one cord detached and still had like control over the thing.
I
was like impressive to me.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
But now how they were supposed to now get it off that top hook, like what were you supposed to do? How could you possibly
that was rough.
Like 2 poles, even if you were doing it yourself, that would feel pretty precarious.
Oh yeah. Very precarious, yeah.
So they failed and they got blasted with dye. Suits ruined. So off they go to the next challenge, dodging the drones, right? And now what was the next thing they had to do? What was the next challenge?
The next thing was was Cassie attempted the suction cup things.
Yes.
And walking over those tiny little pipes.
Yeah. Jumping over little pipes. You've seen them in your basement roof. All right, if you're in a basement that was unfinished, all right, you've seen these pipes before. This is what Cassie had to jump from. She initially only wanted to go with one suction cup pad, right?
Yeah,
and everybody else was like, excuse me, I think you should use 2. And she was like, all right, I guess I'll use 2 if you insist. And then still fell off right out of the gate.
It was just so funny because like Will was coaching her so intently, like, okay, move this here, stop. Now switch your hand, stop. And then do that. Wait. And then she like just jumped off the pipe. She was like, oh God, I'm sorry. Like didn't even try, just like abandoned ship. And he was like, fuck.
It's like you could have at least tried a little harder. Like she could have gone a little further than like
at that point she was like, the season's over, man. Whatever.
What a mess. So $5,000 lost on the pipe / suction cup challenge. So off they went again, dodging the drones. And then they ended up at the last challenge. And that was what?
The last one was with this cannon. They had 5 seconds. They had to avoid the mines on the floor. Run in, grab the canister, and then Will tossed it to Cassie, who he was very, very suspicious of and was afraid that he was like, I have to run in here and get this canister and then toss it to one of these people, neither of whom I trust.
Yeah, and that's really, really funny now. Coming on the other side of this now, knowing that Will was not the mole,
right?
But knowing that he wants to add money to the pot, he's like, I have to throw this to one of you people.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny. Yeah. And he had to throw it to Cassie, who receives it with open arms, with no problem. One might even say she received it with such aplomb. That's a Strat Jack classic. So anyway, so that's it. So what is that? Total winnings? 5,000.
Yeah. And that put their bank at $101,500 total.
Yeah. Wonderful. Which is $1,500 more than BB can. I'll have you know. All right. So anybody who wants to minimize the ball, don't you dare. Yeah,
I saw a lot of people tweeting stuff like, oh, Alex is trying so hard to make it seem like this is so much money. And I'm like, if I got to go and play a game and somebody handed me $100,000 at the end of it, are you kidding me?
Is that the prize pot?
Right.
in what world is that not a lot of money?
Exactly. What'd you say, Gina?
Was that I thought it was like 96 something.
It was
Well, after
96
they got to
until
5,000.
after they got the 5. Yeah, it became 101.5.
Got it.
Yeah. Which is also more than they win on Drag Race, you know. That's always $100,000, you know.
Yeah.
That's a large amount of money. I don't know why we're
Yeah.
scoffing at it. Like it
Yeah,
definitely
it's nothing to,
obviously right. You win more for Survivor, you win more for Big Brother, but this isn't Survivor.
Sure, I
Big
would
Brother.
gladly accept $100,000.
Right.
Right?
This is also like the first season of a reboot that like Netflix is probably kind of testing out, right? To see, and like $100,000 is a lot of money. The person that won it also now has more of a social media following. People know who they are. Maybe they'll
Not
be on
to
other shows.
mention,
They got paid to be on the show. Like
but it's also just the fact that the reason why the money was at that level was because they lost it. It could have been more money than that.
If Joy hadn't made that bid, there could have been another $25,000 in there.
There were multiple opportunities where they could have won more money than that. The reason that they were at this amount is because the cast lost it.
Right. That's the whole point. That's why the mole is there, to make sure they win as little as possible.
Right.
That's literally the point of this. So right. So like in a way, it's not even a negative if the money is lower, because that means that the mole has been successful all season.
Right.
And the show is called The Mole.
That's not like Netflix trying to like snub them on winnings. They lost money because that's the game.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Kyle is so proud of his little like
just having
his little like Alexis Rose mole.
Got your little paws out there.
Well, you know, actually, that's what I do to Tommy. This is what we do when like we're coming out for like a midnight snack. Like, oh, I thought I heard you last night doing that. Yes, I was.
I like it.
Yeah, it's so stupid. So Matt said, you know, it really would have been some boss shit if she would have dropped it after she caught it.
I honestly expected her to.
I
didn't think they were banking
I don't know
that
if
money.
that would have been a great move for her, though. You know.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I honestly thought she was gonna drop it too, though. I did. And Matt says, "Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious."
What is that? What is that?
Oh my god, that you don't know that? That's Parks and Rec, but it's also just like a very popular internet audio.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I don't know it. What's really funny is that, you know, Matt's my boy, but I was not going to show that comment because I didn't know what it was.
No, that was a good one.
I don't know what it is. I'm sorry.
Matt says, "Oh, Kyle,
stop!" I know
that one's getting sent in the group chat later for your.
I was about to say before I hang up,
pleasure.
Matt will already have it sent to me. No, I'll have it before we're done. No, I can definitely count on him for that. Absolutely. So where are we? Tosses the 5,000. She gets it. 101.5.
I mean, I guess
quiz. We're already here. We're here.
Yeah.
So our mole was revealed via Spotlight, but not before. But first, Joy voted for Will. Yes, mole. Will voted for Kasi, and Kasi voted for Joy. Our Spotlight in the warehouse. Now, now this warehouse where this was filmed, do you think that was the same warehouse that they slept in?
Probably.
I could see that.
Did it look like it to you?
I can't imagine they would source that many locations when they can just use the same warehouse for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Here comes Gina with like the real production, like like listen, like, you know, I know how these
work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. That just makes sense. Yeah.
It does make sense. I wonder if anybody had that same thought. But okay, that's what it looked like to me. They just put some lights in there and put like little carpet and curtains. Some chairs inside. So, yeah, and like, okay, we're gonna have the reunion and the finale in this dusty ass warehouse. So put on your best threads. And best threads they did wear for this finale. Everyone looks fantastic.
Everyone looks so good.
Yeah.
So good. This is a hot cast.
It really is.
It really is.
Smoking. smoking hot.
I had a friend reach out to me the other day saying that like they were in the casting process for this, but didn't know what the show was. Oh my God, not the motel.
Again.
No, I'm sorry, Gina. I'm sorry. I couldn't wait. Matt says they really should have had a home base for the players called the Motel.
I read it and I was already chuckling.
Oh my God. This is so stupid.
All right, I'm sorry, Gina. I'm sorry. I totally
I was just saying, like, I had a friend reach out to me when like they saw that I was watching this, being like, oh, I was like in the casting process for this show. And then I saw the cast come out and I said, oh, they're all so hot. I don't know why I was ever even in the running for this show. I was like, oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Aww.
That's terrible. Justice for your friends. We'd love to see you. We'd love to see you.
Your friend is beautiful.
Yeah.
My friend is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know the friend. I know
the friend.
I don't want to say she's beautiful.
I know the friend.
I mean, I'd like to trust. I like to trust. We have Brett Larkin here. Hello, Brett, our new friend. He says, what? What does the mole win? That's an interesting question. We don't know. We don't know. We'd like to know. What does the mole win?
Like, the only thing that I can assume is if nobody voted for the mole, then the mole wins the pot. I have to assume that's it. I don't know.
Yeah. We don't know.
I'm assuming.
But I have to also assume that there's some kind of additional stipend for the mole, like the entire process.
Right. Because why would you agree to come on a show with no chance to get anything?
Winning the real money?
Right.
Like,
right.
But
I felt like now, and who knows, this article could have been inaccurate, but I thought that I thought that I read somewhere that the mole like could not win, at least in this version. Like it was not even possible for the mole to win. But I don't know if that article was accurate or not. I still think that what I was saying before would be a great way to do it.
I agree. I think that's what they should do.
Whatever money the mole, and this has to be directly the mole. It's not like Joy bet $25,000 so the mole gets that.
Right.
Or somebody else screwed up a mission and failed, so like now the mole gets that money too. It has to be like money like that they directly lost for the group from the pot. The mole gets that money as like a prize.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know what else I like? To really supercharge, the mole's behavior and their motivation. What if like the all right, hold on. Before we get into speculation, let's just say, all right, so Kasi was the mole. The spotlight revealed that Kasi was the mole, which means that Gina was correct. Gina got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes. So again,
thank you.
Strat Chat called it. We had our first success with the Challenge All Stars from John. We have our next success with the mole. Our surprise.
I was both so close and so far on BB Can.
I was also correct with Danny McRae on the Challenge USA.
That is true. That is
yes,
true. That is true.
Yes, you were. Listen. Ooh. He will not allow me to forget. He will have you know. He also had another winner. Okay, don't you even put some respect on that name? Okay. And Gina now picked the mole. I have no W's. That's fine.
They're coming.
But again, like this is where I get confused because, like, yes, they revealed that Kasi is the mole, but we also saw that Joy voted for Will. And in the whole like dinner party thing that they had before they took the quiz, Joy said, I have known since day one who the mole is, and I have never been more certain than I am right now that I know exactly who the mole is. When you were paired up with Kasi for that mission on the mountain, how do you still think it's Will? Will has done more to win money than anybody else in the season, and you actively watched Kasi throwing the money off of the sled. How do you still think it's Will? I don't understand.
Right.
And also it and even that pigeon thing too, because that was not the first time that Joy worked with her.
Right.
The pigeon thing, yeah.
That
was a big red flag.
Yeah, that was a huge red flag because Kasi was like, no, it is absolutely this. This is what I want. I want this pigeon. This sounds so crazy. Even like out of context.
I know.
I'm sorry. I heard myself for a second. I got concerned. But no, like I want this pigeon, and
Because
Joey's like,
even
absolutely not. No, it has to be this one. And like, if you went with her,
Yeah.
I don't know. Kasi
even
was
if Joy's
very
tweet
mole-like.
even if Joy's tweet was correct, there were missions that we didn't see that maybe Will was like giving mole behavior during those missions. You still had the end of the series where Kasi was giving you all of the information that you needed.
Yeah. And I would even say that Kasi was suspicious in that mission even before they had to choose that one specific pigeon. Because there was a point that they were up on, it was like some kind of bridge or something with like some binoculars.
Oh, yes.
Right? And Joy was being like, oh,
Mhm.
you know, Avery is saying that there's birds flying in a circle above her. Look, there's a group of birds flying in a circle. And you had Kasi with the binoculars being like, I don't see any birds anywhere. It's like,
Pointing
no,
in the
there's-
opposite direction, like, no, what do you mean?
Yeah. It's like, what are
This
you
is a
talking
great-
about, Kasi?
Yes, this is a great time to bring in this question. So Brent is asking, you know, when did you call Kasi as mole? Gina called this on Monday night. So we also cover The Amazing Race and Survivor. So on Monday, we were discussing The Amazing Race and we went into Mole Monday. And this is where Gina was talking about Kasi and some of her mole-like behavior.
But if
Especially
you're
during the-
asking, I was gonna say, if you're asking when in the series, it was the money heist that really I was like that cued me in that I was like, this is who I'm putting like my stakes on.
Oh, really? I thought it was a little bit before that.
I was
Unless I have my
suspicious.
timeline messed up, because didn't you also mention that plane challenge?
Yes,
Where
the
Avery,
plane.
yeah, where Avery was saying, "Oh, I don't see the dinghy. I don't see the dinghy on the
So,
seashore," and
yes,
Kasi was the
that
other one looking out of that side of the plane.
that was the
and-
first time that I side-eyed her, but I was still
Mhm.
suspecting a couple of people. So like that was my first clue that it could be Kasi, but I wasn't all in on Kasi until
Oh,
Money
okay,
Heist.
okay. Well, I wanted to give you some more credit. I wanted to
Yeah,
give you some
no,
more
that is
credit.
true.
You
Yeah,
did.
that was
You did.
that was the first time that I kind of cued in on her. Yeah.
Yeah, you clocked it. I didn't. I was like, I
Mhm.
was still looking more at Avery in that moment than I was at
And
Kasi.
I will say too, because when I first started watching, I wasn't like reading tweets or whatever. I just like steamrolled on through the thing. But there were a lot of people on Twitter that were like picking out the clues of like they noticed the flag, like a bunch of stuff that like a lot of the fan base was also assuming Kasi. I hadn't seen any of that yet though, so I wasn't basing it on like, well,
Oh,
everyone
okay.
else thinks it's Kasi, so I think it's Kasi. I just want to make
No,
sure
I
that I say
wasn't
that.
reading anything because I felt like I was behind for a lot of the
Mhm.
mole process until Monday. You know, yeah.
Right.
Um,
You know, I saw even one of the clues that I saw that I never even would have thought about this, but like when Kasi took that exemption card and they all had to sleep in the warehouse, they
Mhm.
showed like Kasi looking at it, and then like right before they cut or whatever, you just saw Kasi like turn the card and it just said the mole. Like they show her holding the card, it just says the mole on it, and on the other side it says exemption, obviously. But like even those little clues of like
Mhm.
things like that, it's like, oh, they're literally telling us that this person is the mole without
I
actually
saw
telling
too.
us.
I saw somebody say something about like I don't remember which competition it was, but there was a shot of Kasi and like on the wall behind her you saw graffiti and there were 3 letters and it was like out of order her initials. Like there were like a number of
Yeah.
things that like I was seeing like tweets after the fact.
Yeah.
Which
I'd
a
love
lot
to
of people
rewatch it, see some of that stuff.
a
Yeah,
lot of people were upset about the finale too because apparently in the older version of the mole that was part of the finale of like here are all of the clues that we gave you throughout the season so that you the viewer should have figured it out and they didn't do like a deep dive of that in this finale, so a lot of people are upset about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why
really?
That's why I
That's
don't
intriguing
understand.
to me. I would have liked that.
Right, and that's why I don't understand why the finale was the shortest episode of the season. You could have easily added in an extra 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. Then this episode would have been the same length as all the other ones, and you could have included that stuff. You only need a few
Mhm.
minutes to like show all
Yeah.
those clues. You know, like you don't need a lot of time to do that.
Right.
So I'm disappointed they didn't. I would have loved if they did some kind of like bonus episode too of like
Sure, yeah.
stuff from the reunion, like because you know maybe Alex asked people more questions or something like that. They asked all the the cast more questions and about their suspicions. I would love to hear like how people's views changed throughout the season and how suspicions started on one person and moved to this person and they shouldn't have changed up their viewpoint because that's what got them eliminated. I would have loved to see more of that, and maybe hope. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we still will. Who knows? But
That's what I'm saying. I would love a proper reunion. Like,
Uh-huh.
yes, everyone was together for the finale, but I want to have like a deep dive into the season with the entire cast. And that's what a reunion is to me. I left this comment up for a little while because I did want to chat about this. Brett had made this comment. I see birds, but that's not a circle. I have to say, the way this was edited, I also did not think it was a circle, though. Like, it did look very messy. It was questionable. I don't know what these birds are doing. Birds are gross.
I was gonna say, if there's one thing Kyle's not on board with, it's. But I know you were hating this episode. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta go look at pigeons.
Oh
no.
If I was in this, I'm like, whatever you say, I'm not looking at that bird. I'm not looking at that bird. Like, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
See, all right. So this comes back up. Brett saying, yeah, El Dorado and the train made me says Kasi. Forgot about the plane.
Well, so they didn't acknowledge the plane in the episode. They were talking about Avery actively not seeing the dinghy, but they weren't talking about how Kasi was in the seat behind her also not seeing it.
I also do have to make one correction. I think they were in helicopters, not planes. Just so people don't attack us.
Oh, maybe. I don't remember. I thought that one was a plane, but maybe I'm wrong.
Attack us, but I felt attacked by the fact that you corrected us.
No, because I said plane at first. I said plane at first too, but I'm pretty sure they were in helicopters. I think both sides were in helicopters.
Listen, no one on this podcast gets canceled the way that I do. Y'all are fine. It's only me that gets harangued by these by these fandoms. All right,
I'm so sorry.
I would say I would have been
hating
very
on
suspicious.
me. Keep hating. I ain't going nowhere.
I would have been suspicious if I found out some of those names that were in there. The K Midas one, I would have been like, how do you not say that? Sure, maybe it's possible that people, people haven't, people aren't familiar. But, I think they called it a dinghy in the episode, though.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe it's possible that you haven't heard of these names, but like the Midas one, that would have been the first one that I said. Oh, we're looking for gold, and there's a name Midas here.
See, again, like I don't know that I would have picked up on that, but I know one of them was G-Locks for Goldilocks. That is not what I would have put together. But if I was looking for a specific lock box and someone's last name was Lock, I would have put that together.
Yeah.
I would have actually said, if I saw G-Locks, I would have said, oh, Goldilocks. Well, that's cute.
I never would have thought of Goldilocks.
I would have thought of Goldilocks, but I wouldn't have thought that was an actual cue or like clue or anything. I would have just done it because I just thought it was funny. But just being a funny thing to say, yeah. I chose Goldilocks. I don't know what I'm doing. Goldilocks, yeah, sure. like I wouldn't have actually thought I was correct. I just would have done funsies. Yeah, so silly. Yeah. See, everyone says El Dorado is obvious. I don't know anything about El Dorado.
El Dorado, city of gold.
I never heard that. I only heard that because of this. I never heard that. Yeah, like where is it? Texas?
All right. 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 33 seconds.
Where is El Dorado? Mexico? What is El Dorado?
Oh my god.
I picture El Dorado. I see like Nickelodeon's Hey Dude with like the tumbleweed blowing. Like
there was a movie, The Road to El Dorado. They were looking for gold.
Who was looking for gold?
The like people in the movie.
Like Five-O Goes West.
Five-O Goes West.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That would not have stuck out to me at all. I'm sorry. It means nothing to me. Maybe I'm just like an uncultured swine.
It's really actually like it's a mythical city. A mythical city.
Like Atlantis?
Basically, yeah.
All right. What does this mean? There are no cats in America.
Five-O Goes West. You brought it up.
What does this mean? Yikes. Oof. Brett, were you denied a childhood? It was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
What was my childhood? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Streets of Rage for the Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis. Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I played as Blaze. Okay. The female, obviously. That was my childhood. I don't know. I was a simpleton. But anyway, I was a simpleton. So Kasi was the mole. And more interesting than that, I suppose, is Will. Will clocked it. And Will is the winner of our $101,500 pot.
May I just say, I don't know if we're all in agreement in this. I think that was the most satisfying of all of the winners because the entire season, Will has been the one that has banked the most money and has done most of the work to bank the money.
Yeah.
Only
So
fitting
good
that
for
he was
him.
the one to win it. It was
Yeah, good for
very
him.
nice to see that he was the
Yeah.
winner.
Absolutely.
He
Yeah.
I
busted
agree.
his ass for that
Good
prize
for
pot.
him. Yeah.
I agree.
So much of that money was his. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really, really happy for him. But yeah, it's definitely a satisfying ending.
Yeah. And that's that. I hope we get another mole. I would love to see another. I'd love to see another of this reboot. I actually want one more episode of this because I do want to see the cast together one more time to really talk about like each challenge. I do want to see that deep dive.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
That'd be
Definitely
really
agree.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they'll do another season. I feel like this was pretty successful. I do. I think that people really got into this from what I was seeing on Twitter. And I mean, I'm sure it doesn't have as big of an audience as some of the other shows that we watch, like The Challenge and
I mean, it was in the
Big
Netflix
Brother
top
and Survivor.
10.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Matt.
Oh, no.
Time to cyberbully Netflix for a promote reunion.
Are we tweeting
Yes.
threatening gifts at Netflix until they give us?
Maybe we have to, or at least until we get a season 2. You know,
yeah,
we need to have another mole. I'm very intrigued by this show. I'm definitely on board.
And I want to be on it.
yeah.
I want to be on this show too. I would be terrible at most of the challenges.
As long as I don't have to swim or ride a bike, I'm fine.
Gosh, I would also really love to talk to Jacob. Now knowing that he was not the mole, I would love to know more about some of these other moments, like these moments where, because the editing doesn't always
money
do us
counting
some favors. Yeah, like that money counting where Avery had clocked that he was counting 49 and 51 instead of 50 bills, and it's like, was that his version of deflection, or did he just make a mistake? I would love to know some of the behind the scenes stuff behind some of those moments.
Yeah,
I would love to talk to literally anybody on this cast.
Yeah, the car ride with Joy. I'd love to know more about that. Yeah, there's so many things to get into, so many little moments to talk about. That I think are so much more interesting to talk about postseason than like even Big Brother. Just to get
because at least for Big Brother, there is some context if you're watching live feeds. With this, like, we only have the edit.
Right. Yeah, I want to know so much more about your individual experience with this. I want to talk to everyone. I'm so intrigued by this show. I really love this.
And honestly, you really don't even have to. I mean, like, we like to watch the live feeds, but like, you don't even really have to watch the live feeds to still stay very informed on what's going on in the house, in between the edits. Because if you just go on BB Twitter, if you're not afraid to be spoiled and you just want to see what's going on in there, you don't have to watch a second of the live feeds. Just go to BB Twitter and you will know exactly what's going on in that house.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah. You don't get that with this. So, Yeah, I'd love to get some more context around
God,
some of
I
the happenings, the goings on.
Right. It just makes
Yeah.
so much sense too, especially knowing now that like there are missions that were happening that we haven't even seen.
I
Like
know.
how cool would it be to get a bonus episode of like the
All
missions
of
we
the
didn't
cut
see?
stuff. Yeah.
Right, like all the missions we didn't see, all the little clues that they dropped about the mole throughout the season, and then like a short reunion thing where we get more from each of the the players. I feel like that would be awesome. You could totally put together like an hour-long episode with all that stuff and just kind
I
of like
can't believe there were
tie up all the
missions
loose
we didn't see.
ends. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you show us?
And like to be
Who
real,
did that
like,
help? Like,
this was a very easy watch. It was a very quick watch. I would easily take another 10 episodes if you give me more content. Like,
absolutely, especially
Yeah.
coming from the BB universe, where we're used to getting
right. I would
so much
gladly take
content.
another 10.
We
Another
would
5
gladly
even.
take more, and like we are used to getting 3 episodes a week, and we're like, it's not enough. Where the things? What do you mean it's down? And it's like now we get the mole, we get like just this. No,
Right, you
I
could
would
watch this whole
love
season
more.
in a day. I would gladly accept more episodes of this.
Absolutely. Brett says
Yes, I
everyone
want
should
to see their quiz answers. I want to
wanna
know
see
who was
everything.
voting how.
I want
Especially since, like I was saying
everything. All
before, like
information.
especially because, like I was saying before, there were people who were saying they were so in on one person, and then that person would go home, but the person who was answering the quiz based on them was still there. I want to know the breakdown.
Yeah, I would love this too. Like with what Matt's saying here, give us 2 seasons a year like Survivor. I was thinking about this before. I was like, I feel like it's so easy to do it too. Just give us two seasons every year.
I will say what's so interesting too, and I don't know.
Brett,
Sorry,
Netflix doesn't even have to get live airtime. We could have 100 episodes. It's true. They could do whatever they wanted. You know, they're adults. They can do whatever they want.
Is this Netflix's way to enter the proper competitive reality TV conversation? Like, this is it. This is it. Y'all got the mole. Like, we're here. We're present. Hello.
well, I mean, even we saw someone from The Circle in the challenge last year. You know, like it's not completely unheard of that we see these people in other places and that like these shows are intertwined in some way.
Right. Give me a reason to keep my Netflix subscription. Because
and I also do find it interesting because, like, no shade, but we're talking about how much we love this cast, and we do. But we've also talked about how much we have disliked previous Big Brother casts. Apparently, Robin cast this.
Really?
Can I also tell you, she also cast BB Can 10. And
Did she?
BB Cans before that. Yeah. She's cast.
Oh, I didn't know
BB
that.
Can 11. Yeah. So she caught a lot of heat over here in America, but like she apparently is not. She's been saying, I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. Stop
I mean,
it.
if she assembled this cast, I'm like, all right, sure. Yeah, you're not the problem.
No.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And she did put together the BB Can 10 cast, which we loved every single
adored.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It is interesting to bring Robin into the conversation. I definitely did not think we'd be talking about her on our pop-up midnight mole at 1:44 a.m.
Oh my God.
Robin Cass. Definitely didn't think it.
What's up, Robin?
Put me on a show, please.
Brett won't have any of it. He says they can burn the circle.
I like the Circle.
Brett,
Circle's fun.
Brett, not a fan of the Circle.
I've applied for the Circle.
You have, huh? I watched the first season. I thought it was enjoyable, but I did try to watch this most recent one because the Spice Girls were on it. You know, Baby and Scary.
Oh, I see. I've only watched the first 2.
So I did not watch the second one. I did not hear good things about it. I tried again with Circle 4, where the Spice Girls were on there, but there's this black gay man that I understand people think I might be like.
From the Circle?
Yeah, but I did not like him. People kept telling me, oh, you remind me of so-and-so. I forget his name. I reject this comparison. I get where you're coming from. I did not enjoy him. I thought he was too much.
What season?
4. This one, 2 Spice Girls on it. Yeah. He was actually the reason why I did not watch any further into this season premiere. I thought he was a
Wow.
little bit too much. Brett says, how do we get in touch with this Robin? I want to be on Big Brother. She is on Instagram at casting. K-A. Yeah,
Twitter
I
as
think it's
well.
Kassting.
I
Something
believe
like
so.
that. Yeah, Robin Cass. Her name is Casting. Matt is saying, Frank. Maybe that was his name. You have better vibes than Frank for sure. I'm not just saying that. I think that's very sweet. I mean, I still want to be on TV. I could not watch this man. I thought he was a little bit too much. You like Big D Fraser? He was awful. He was awful. I am a big black gay man, but I would like to believe I am not like him.
No.
Yeah, I
No.
do believe I'm slightly more enjoyable than him. So sorry. And that's that. I got nothing else at 1:46 a.m.
Right?
This is way past my bedtime.
Oh, this was so much fun, though.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I love Midnight Mole.
Yeah, Midnight Mole
Yeah.
Madness. Woo!
Woohoo! I would love to see if we can actually get somebody from the Mole.
We're gonna
I
try.
would love literally any
Any
of
of
them.
yeah.
Any of them.
We're gonna try. You know,
What an interesting conversation to have, literally with anybody. I want to know more. I want to know more.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. You know, we've chatting with a couple of people. You know, maybe.
We're gonna shoot our
Maybe.
shot.
You know, we are shooting our shot. We're trying. Who knows?
Brett's saying some nice things here. Oh,
He is
well,
saying some nice things. Oh,
I think I clicked it at the same time you did.
yeah. I'll stop.
Brett says, "Good job, guys. That was fun. Thank you very much. We had a lot of fun. Very,
Thanks for
Thanks
hanging
very
out.
glad.
Thanks for
Very
coming.
glad to have you hanging out with us." Brett also then asks,
Oh,
"This a new channel?" We have been around, Brett, for a little over a year, but we had a name change because we had some
we had some troubles. We had some troubles.
some legal things to work through. But we are here at the Strat Chat podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, new-ish.
Yeah.
New-ish.
So,
Well, show this last one.
oh
I
yeah,
wanna talk about it.
No, I just saw it. Brett's got his own channel with some friends, the Reality Guys. That's cool. We should definitely check that out.
Yeah, let's check it out.
I feel like I've seen that
I
handle
feel like
before.
I've seen that too, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you come chat with us? We're also covering Survivor, The Amazing Race, and listen, we love the challenge. We love the challenge. We're doing Challenge 38, and we're also going to do Challenge Australia. If you're down to go down under.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, thanks for finding
Fun.
us. Yeah,
We love
we
new
love
friends.
new friends.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to check out your channel too.
Yeah,
Sure.
you come here, we'll go there. Yeah, let's have a big old party. Yeah, be a really good time. We love chatting with new friends.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Brett
Challenge and
says
Survivor, my two favorites. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Amazing.
Let's go.
then you're a friend of ours.
Yes, any friend of theirs is a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really, really great. So with that, this Monday, we're actually chatting Survivor. You know, that's at 9:30. I hope I'm here. I'm still not getting. I'm not getting any. I'm not getting any answers as to whether or not I have rehearsal that late. I said, can I skedaddle at 9 so I can do my podcast? I still have no answer. I would very, very much like to be here. But after that, Thursday at 9:30, we're chatting the Challenge 38. I am absent.
Mhm.
Matt, friends making friends. Brett
I
Larkin will
love it.
check y'all out. I love Survivor. Awesome.
Yeah, that's how we found that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Australian Survivor is how we found that. That's a fun story. Yeah, so Thursday I will be absent. That is confirmed. So the Challenge 38, I will miss that week. I hope my people don't go home. You know, I don't think Johnny's going home that early though.
I don't think so either.
And I don't
I
think
doubt
Laurel's
it.
going home that early either. So I think I'm good. I don't want my people to go home. when I'm not here. I'd be really upset. But yeah, Challenge 38 Thursday at 9:30. So you got a good 24 hours, to watch the episode and get your life in order. Anything else for the benefit of the community?
I think that's it.
I think I'm good.
Thanks for hanging out for the bowl. This is a lot of unexpected fun. This is a really good time. And look, listen, I think we should talk offline about maybe watching like an old season. I would be down.
I'd be so down.
I don't know how we can work it into our schedule. There is a lot going on with Amazing Race, Survivor, Challenge 38, and Challenge Australia.
Right.
So we do have a lot going on. But I am intrigued. I would like the conversation to continue. Yeah, that's it. You can find us on the socials at StratChatPod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. This was StratChat Podcast. Well, I don't want to say your favorite reality TV podcast because now we got the reality guys in our audience here.
One of your favorite reality
One
TV
of your
podcasts.
favorite. We don't want to be too presumptuous, but I'd like to think that people enjoy us too.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for hanging out. This is Midnight Mo. We're out of here. Thanks a lot.